Okay, hello. That is me staring at myself for like 5 minutes. This is YouTube's new live. So hey, maybe you didn't even get the message. But I just shared it on Twitter, I think. Or I canceled it. Are we here? Kristen says it's my birthday. Okay, cool. Can you hear me well and everything like that? I have the chat popped out. And the chat is now in dark mode. There's PB, and I decorated. Boink, 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 boink. Here's a tape. I'll get rid of that. Sound and image are okay. That's good. YouTube, whenever YouTube rolls out updates, they allow you to use the classic mode for like 2 months up until the very last minute. And they updated our like live streaming probably to be more in line with like Twitch and stuff like that. And I had been using the classic mode up until I guess today. They absolutely took it away. So I did not use that grace period to learn how to use it. Even my live stream with Valonius last week, I was able to use the classic mode. So this is my first time on the new streaming software. I'm pretty sure it's all of the same. I'm pretty sure Super Chat is now more highlighted. So if you leave a Super Chat, I'll be able to see it, and I believe it stays up. So thank you in advance. I thought I would come on here today because I did film today, but I just finished filming, so there wasn't enough time for me to edit and stuff like that. So I thought I would come on live because I'm feeling pretty vulnerable. I'm feeling like I'm feeling really weird. Like if I had a big family, I feel like this would be when I would, I don't know, go home and wear my sweatpants in like my mom's sunken in living room for 4 days, but that's not something I have. But I do have a YouTube channel, so I thought that would be cool. So I'm just here. I have my like little back pillow, and I just got PB some kibble, so you're gonna hear her crunching. I was trying to film earlier downstairs, and my other cat Ethan, I guess, decided to eat, and the sound of him just like crunching kibble was like the loudest thing on earth. I was just looking at him like, if you don't stop eating that kibble into a microphone. But yeah, I thought I would come on here. It's like, I feel like I feel good about like my life, and I guess that's when things get weird or go silly. I had my first stream on Twitch on Sunday with Valonius, not on my own channel, but I had created a channel. So a couple of you guys actually started following me on my like blank Twitch channel. And some of you guys reached out to me who are way more experienced with Twitch and have your favorite Twitch streamers and have your own channel and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that. This stream actually would have been on Twitch, but I don't have everything set up over there that I need to. I was on the phone and stuff with Valonius for the last month while he's been setting up things on Twitch, and I was kind of just like, yo, just do it. And now that it's my turn, I'm like, oh, I don't have any of my graphics set up or anything like that. There's like transition screens and things like that I'm just dummy. So I wanted to come to you tonight in my home court, YouTube, and live, where I honestly feel most comfortable. Don't tell anyone, but I'm watching this while my Zoom class is on mute. I'm loving it. Not just dumb, just something you have to adjust to. Totally. And like the eagerness to try something new has been really cool. And a lot of you guys were talking to me about TikTok. So I actually PB scratched my couch and my light went out. I actually emailed TikTok today to tell them that somebody is sitting on my username, and that I can like verify that I am quickened and that is not quickened. I don't think anything will come of that. Usually with those media companies, you get an email back pretty quickly. I emailed them through their like media support, like I'm News 10 or something like that, but I'm gonna fix this light because I set up everything to that light and now it's off. Is that where it was? Yeah. So, yeah, it's been nice. I think all of us, the coronavirus and social distancing, and I think it zapped a lot of our energy. So it is like a nice supported feeling to like gain that energy back. I feel like I just, I don't know, received a giant pat on the head. But I'm reluctant to watch Twitch because it's an Amazon property. Absolutely. Do know that Amazon is trying their hardest to enter the game space. They have a gaming console that they either came out with or are improving on. They want to buy licenses for games, and Twitch. It's tough. Amazon actually hosts a lot of websites as well. That's how they can sell things on their website for 75 cents, because most of their money comes from hosting websites on their cloud service. So they may host some of your favorite websites too. So it's kind of like, what can you do? I remember ModCloth. You might remember them. They did like a lot of like vintagey, modern kind of clothing, and then they were bought by Walmart, and I remember a ton of us were like, ew, I'm not shopping at ModCloth anymore. But I was like, yeah, but who else does Walmart also own? Like, what can you really do? I like the idea that Twitch, it's so out of what I consider mainstream. That's why I'm kind of drawn to it. I watched this video over the weekend by this VTuber Giguk about VTubers, like virtual reality, like J-tubers kind of thing. Virtual Japanese live streamers who live stream through an avatar. They've become really, really popular. And I love that that's kind of against what I would think would be mainstream consumable. So as much as the mainstream leaks onto YouTube, and I resist that, I do have an affinity for the things that break what I would consider a mainstream interest and have popularity. So in that, you know, I'm conflicted because Amazon pee-pee poo-poo, but Twitch, interesting, different, very media and entertainment solely controlled by the streamer, which I love. It was not very long ago that you needed to, if you wanted to be an entertainer, you had to do it through a variety. You had to do it through a limited number of sources. And that's why I generally give Vice Media the benefit of the doubt, because they're owned by Fox, but Vice was the only alternative, like, homebrewed news you could get for a while. I grew up watching MTV, and that was kind of my only, like, this is a little different. So I'm always in support of people being able to create their own content. Just got home from school to hang before work. Welcome. Are we bagging on capitalism? Is that a ghosty brooch? Yeah, I have. Enamel pins are so hard to photograph, but Here he is, little no-face trick-or-treater. I got this last year, and they don't make it anymore. And freaking Heidi Kenny commented on my photo saying that she liked it. And I was like, I'll rip it off of my bare chest and send it to you. But really, I just said this. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hello. I just ordered a bunch of cards from the Netherlands. The company is out of the Netherlands, I guess. I didn't realize that until I checked out. But I'm releasing jewelry. I'm releasing earrings, and I got card backs for it. I don't have very many of them, though. So stay tuned for when I release those. It'll be a very limited merch release. Perfect timing tuning in to the live while wearing your merch that just came in today. Thank you. That's awesome. I got a notification from my P.O. box like earlier, so all of the merch must be reaching everybody, which is great. The only thing I didn't have a sample of at launch was the hoodie, so that would be great if that came in today. Quack, if you have a P.O. box, will you post it on Insta or drop it in the chat? I got a cute Halloween card I want to send you and a copy of my zine. So let me, what can I do? Should I like write it down? It's on my Twitter, if that helps anybody, but it's kind of far back. I will post it. Still enjoying the Quicken pin. Were your Philly cheesesteak shirts a limited run? I didn't notice them on your Teespring. So I just shifted around some stuff on my shop. Just some things. I like had some things on there. So my merch drop was supposed to be actually in the spring or like the summer. And at first, I didn't want to drop it because I didn't want anyone to feel pressured to buy anything. You know, at the top of COVID, I was like, this is not my time to even speak. So that got pushed back. And then the photos for the merch release also got pushed back because I wanted all the artists to wear the shirt that they curated as well. And then that got pushed back. So I decided to just do like a complete overhaul of the shop and kind of just showcase the new release. And I did take some of the older things off of my shop to make room for the new things. However, my original Quickened, like the cartoon, the bubble letter graffiti inspired, the original Quicken hoodie that's been there since last October, I actually left up and added new colorways. John designed that, and he designed the two different ones. Sorry, I'm like looking around because I'm pretty sure it's like right here. Okay. So this sweatshirt and the hoodie version are both still available. I was going to take them off because they've been up there for a year. However, the other design that John created for this year was an all-over print Q. And we just kind of scrapped that idea. Well, I did. I felt bad. I just told him that, like, right now might not be the time for, like, an all-over print Q motif. But you guys like that pullover so much and have asked me for other colorways that I just added some other colorways. So I did take some old stuff off, and I was going to take that off too, but there was just like, not my year. Happy October, Quicken. What are your Halloween plans during these COVID times? So, my best friend Justine, she is going to have a little bonfire that's going to be outside. We talked about having like a girls thing where we would kind of just wear like kigurumis, which are the like one piece with a hood zip up, and it's generally of a character. We were like, what if we just have a girls' night and we just wear kigurumi and like that's our fantasy, but it's also Halloween, so we won't feel self-conscious in front of our boyfriends. So that turned into like a whole get together. So that's kind of my only Halloween plans other than stuff I'm going to do around my house. I've been crafting a lot and decorating, so kind of just treating this like, I feel like some people really get in the spirit of Christmas and they spend December decorating and buying gifts and writing cards and all of those little things that are in this spirit of holiday. And I think Halloween for me is that. So far, we went to Vegan Treats, which is an all-vegan bakery in Bethlehem. I talk about it here a lot, so I do feel like I'm repeating myself. But it's kind of like this vegan pilgrimage. Like, I've met people in Philly who rent a car for the day to drive to Bethlehem to go to Vegan Treats. It's kind of that, like, vegan rite of passage. And if you've ever lived in or visited even New York City, if you are, like, from another country and you've visited New York City, a lot of bakeries and cafes will have items from Vegan Treats that they get delivered every day. So you may have had Vegan Treats if you've ever eaten this like peanut butter volcano in like a cafe in New York City. I remember, I think I was in Chelsea at a cafe that like had really tall ceilings but like no seating, and I was like, what if we just and I remember I got that volcano and it was from Vegan Treats. So Vegan Treats has a whole Halloween little cakes that they do. And we already went there to get my like Halloween cakes. So my like Halloween traditions are already rolling out and it's been a ton of fun. Sorry, I need to like drink water. Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm a trans boy. Are you guys a safe space? Absolutely. I want to get the crew and crop it and distress it for this winter. Once I get all my pieces from the merch release, I am going to make a video where I customize each one in lieu of having all of the creators customize the shirts and style them. I'm going to. So that is in the future as well. I wanted to create, I offered like dark colors and light colors so you could customize it, because I know it's a big thing to customize like creator merch or band t-shirts, so I wanted to celebrate the spirit of that. Teespring was so difficult to deal with though. Yeah, so I host all my merch on Teespring, and it is a pain. And I know if you order like more than one thing, you pay shipping for like both things. And I know on my end, I don't get any of the stuff for free either. So getting samples throughout the months and like tweaking things and getting more samples, it's totally annoying. Why I continue to use Teespring is they have like a no questions asked return policy. So I really, really like that for you guys. If anything gets messed up, if they send you something and the print is messed up, the size is wrong, the image is altered, something is askew, the size is wrong, their return policy is like money back. And I really, really, really like that for you guys. It's something I can't personally offer, so I take all the aggravation that they put out, and really just their customer service is good and their return policy, no questions asked, and that's really, really awesome. So I hope, like I know, like I see it too, but for me that is really awesome. So no matter what, like if anything is wrong with your order, even if like, the print isn't dark enough, like I do really like their customer service. I had a sale like a month ago and the hoodies sold out, and I hit up customer service and they got back to me really, really, really quickly. So What light is out? Okay, I will change it in a few minutes. So dry succulent, this Halloween is my first time I'm actually dressing up, which is funny because COVID limits what I can do, but I'm dressing up as Kagome from Inuyasha, and honestly, I'm so excited. I love that. I am rewatching Inuyasha right now, and to be Kagome, I have so many feelings about Kagome. I feel like the weight of the world is on her freaking shoulders, and all the time I'm like, that's not fair. So, you go. So this year I don't think I'm making costumes. There's already a few things I've been interested in dressing up as, and they're mostly like musicians. I wanted to dress up as Aaron Weiss from Me Without You, and he has a music video January 1979 where he's in these red long johns and he has a bouquet of flowers and like a sailor's hat. I was like, oh, I want to do that. That's everything to me. But I feel like I would have already had to have gotten in the motion of ordering those things. But I'm not going out this year, so I don't know. And I also don't want to create content that encourages anybody to go out. I don't know. Justine also, we were talking about kigurumis, and then she was like, maybe we could find a pattern for a kigurumi and make our own. I don't know. The bonfire's coming up quick, and there's still so much. I'm sure all your favorite creators are like, Halloween, that! It's really like the people on YouTube who celebrate Halloween, it's also like their downfall and like completely burns them out, and you don't hear anything from them in November. So Sebi says, oh, Quack, I know what your goat painting says, the one John got you. So I translated it, and I love it. Olive ate it. My orange cat. I was outside, and I had it laid flat, and he started chewing at it, which he's never attacked paper before. There must have been some sort of smell to it, but it's ruined now. It sucks. Thank you for translating it. It's done now. I got a picture of it because somebody messaged me, and they were like, that's everything. I want to get a tattoo of it. So I sent them this really nice picture of it so they could give it to their tattoo artist. And I swear, like 2 days later, Olive destroyed it. I have all of the pieces. So I think if I get a frame, I can fix the pieces. But I feel so bad. Olive, no. I was filming a video too. And I heard like some like, I don't know, some light chaos. So I was like, what? And then it was too late. I didn't know that John designed stuff. Yeah, so John is a man of many talents, and he designed. I actually have like all the like doodles and stuff from him originally designing those like Quicken. I think they're over here. I was like, I shouldn't throw this away. This is my channel's history. And now I can't find it. Oh my god, I have to stop. I can look through the same drawer like 100 times. And on the 100th time, I find the thing I'm looking for. So that's why I just did that. So don't be like, girl, you already opened that drawer. With my luck. Yeah, so John illustrated those Quicken little illustrations. I love this one. This one's my favorite, and then the hoodie version was John's favorite, so I issued both. And you guys were pretty mixed on which one you liked. So yeah, John made this. Super cute. I've always wanted John to make something for this channel, so that was really special. Just moved to Philly. Any good bike shop recommendations? The bike shop I used to go to closed during COVID, so I actually don't know. I've been doing my own bike repairs as of recently, but good luck. I used to go to the bike church in University City, which is a class for women and non-binary folks to get bike education for free. So I would look up bike church and see if they're still doing stuff, because that's where I used to go when I lived in West Philly, but it's worth checking out. How do you reflect on your breakup with John these days? Do you think it was necessary? No pressure to answer. I know it's very personal. Very happy you guys are still going strong. Actually, it comes up a lot, and I'm pretty... So, I've been in a relationship with my partner for about 7 or 8 years, but we broke up for about a year, maybe even more, maybe less. We broke up for about a year. I moved out and lived on my own. And I was like casually dating. Like it was kind of like a breakup that I thought was final, and at times didn't feel final. At times felt like just a break. He was dating, so I was dating. I think our breakup, it's one of those things where it kind of feels like a little bit of a stain on your relationship, because you meet people who are like, oh, you broke up? That resets your relationship. You've only been dating for blah, blah, blah. And it's a bit odd. I know it also challenges the security of our relationship, knowing that we broke up. And when we got back together, things weren't absolutely strong either. My lease was up on my apartment, and I was going to move in with one of my old coworkers, and John was like, you should move in with me. Like, that's what's right. You help build this house. So John built up this back room to be my room, and we would live together. And at that point, we were basically kind of like dating all over again. I think the breakup was good. Especially because we had been dating for so long, and in like such a prime part of our lives, like our early 20s through our mid 20s, a lot of people develop so much of themselves during those core years. And me, like, I had all these different career changes and lifestyle changes, and my confidence changed and everything like that. I changed so much as a person, and John changed so much as a person too. And I think it's really easy to be like, the problems in my life are because of my partner. Like, that's so easy to do. And when you get to that point, like, something's up. I know John had a lot of his own difficulties, and I think as a man, there's a lot of pressure to date women, and that reflects your success. And when you're young, you should be dating around, and you should have these stories for your coworkers, and your friends are dating, and your friends are on Tinder. And I felt like I can see that pressure being on John. And he told me later that people, like, on Instagram, women were very flirty with him, and he had a hard time like shutting that down and not taking in that attention. And it's not even necessarily like he would do anything with it, but I can see like that attention and like not understanding, like, okay, I'm in my 20s, I've been dating this girl for a while. There's a lot of pressure for me to, marry her, break up with her. I can see all of that and I understand it. And talking about it a lot helps me feel more comfortable with it. Even the other day, my little brother was in the car and John and I said something casually about, like, the time when we were broken up. And it's very easy. It's not like a, ugh, which is, I think, best. At first, I told John that I had some trauma related to our breakup because he did, like, date people in our community, and, like, that kind of made me uncomfortable. And I was like, well, why do I feel uncomfortable? Like, I understand. And, like, that kind of lingered for a while until I just, like, kept talking about it and kept talking it out. And honestly, talking about, like, that, the hardest thing, has made talking about the little things so much easier. So it makes the communication really, really good. Almost like that you both got over a really, really hard thing. I felt independent when we were separated, but I don't know. It wasn't my idea to break up with John, but I continued to live a life where it was, anybody who's broken up with anybody in the modern age, it's really hard to sever that tie. So I did feel connected with John, and there was a lot of speculation that John and I were hanging out, and it wasn't anything that necessarily needed to be speculated on. I think breaking up can be a long process, and John and I still hung out, and we were like, do we like this? No, like, I want to, like, get drunk and hang out with girls or stuff like that, and me too. And I think also, if you're dating someone for a long time, I think that break, like, I'm not saying you should do this, but when it happened to us, I think for me personally, like, I feel bad saying this, but, like, I did go on some dates and I didn't like it. I didn't really like the scene. I feel bad, like, the people I went on dates with and hung out with and pursued even, like, I didn't really like it. I wanted to get that good rebound girl, but I didn't really like it. The people I met while I was trying to, like, fast date or whatever, like, either wanted to hang out with me because I was quickened, or used Quicken to talk to me instead of just talking to me. I think it really kind of hammered in that I wanted to be with John or single. So I don't know. I made the mistake of dragging my friends' boyfriends when shit goes down and realizing it's not helpful. Yeah, when I was a little bit younger, if anything went down, I told everybody about it. And now I realize that, like, I don't know. You just get older. You just live and learn. Breaking up is hard, but it gives you perspective to be sure that you really want to be with that person, aka you know what the relation was precious to you if you lose it. I really feel that way. But I agree with you. I do get a little caught up in, like, cliches, and I hate that they represent what happened to me, I guess. Like, I don't know, grass is always greener, or throw him out, and if he comes back, like, the breakup was really, really hard on me. And then getting back together was really hard too. But now, later, everything makes sense, and I feel really comfortable in my relationship, and I feel really comfortable with my ability to communicate my feelings and my needs, and the ease of being able to communicate and being able to identify feelings that I have and what I need in order to cope or move on or feel comforted. And I can apply those lessons into every aspect of my life. And it's nice that I just learned the lesson. I understand my boundaries so much better, and my wants. And yeah, I like being around people. I talked about that, like living alone in my apartment was not what I wanted, despite believing I was an independent person. It didn't translate to living by myself. So I learned a lot. Do you feel like you romanticize relationships less now? I guess there's like the thing I have the most issue with is the stereotypical relationship ingrained in us from like daytime television or like late night sitcoms that like man is dumb and woman is unfulfilled. That has been so, I don't want to say damning, but so controversial, and the people it affects, knowing or unknowingly, I feel like are the worst symptom of the modern relationship, because like stupid husband pee pee poo poo, you make him dinner. I truly hate that cliche. And I think that it kind of plagues a lot of our actions and expectations, whether we know it or not. And for me, I am finally comfortable breaking out of that stereotype. And that is what has made, I think, being in a relationship much more comfortable for me. Not having these like societal expectations, because forever I was like, John's gonna get bored of me if I'm ugly or if I'm not hot all the time. He can upgrade me, he can replace me, he wants to cheat on me, I always thought I wasn't good enough. And why? And it's like all these stupid ass sitcoms all have the same episode where like the husband strays, or like, I don't know, the wife like gets fat or something and the husband's like, man, like, oh my god. Like, really believing that I had to constantly perform for somebody because they could just like upgrade me or whatever was such a drag. And these how many sitcom episodes of husband and wife like are in the bedroom and they're like, we gotta jazz things up because things aren't as jazzy as they used to be. And I'm like, oh, when is my time for man to be sick of me? And that's not like a case in my relationship. And waiting for it all the time sucked. Like waiting to be like cheated on all the time sucked. And it's really not the case. But I don't know. Why can't people understand the only man for me is Mothman? The time in the flat seems so pivotal for you. Sometimes we need space and independence to look internally, soul search, and what we actually want. Otherwise, we can get so swept up in the day-to-day life. T. Are you displaying any Heidi Kenny Halloween cuties? She has a sad mug shirt that I want to get for you. So I have my normal Halloween plushes from Heidi. I don't have anything new, but I do have all my years previous, Bat, Sad, Candy Corn, stuff like that. My Halloween box is still in my basement. John asked me to wait until October to decorate. I just put down my tablecloth, so the Pandora's box has opened. So I don't have anything on display yet, but I will be decorating as soon as possible. I've been like couch bound, so that kind of sucks, which I'm glad you guys can sit here with me. That's really great. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat a little bit. Yeah, but I guess like as far as romanticizing relationships, I feel definitely really grounded in my relationship, and when I don't like hold it up to other relationships, that's when I feel like I thrive the most in it. I talked about this before, but being on Twitter can kind of, or even like Instagram, it can kind of mess you up. Like dudes buying their girlfriends cars, you're kind of like, where's my car? But like in your relationship, when you don't hold it up to anything else, like, are you satisfied? If you're not, like, that's valid. And if you are, I think that's something to celebrate or even be considerate of. Because I would go on Twitter and be like, my man never runs me a bath. But at the same time, like, I don't know how important that is to me. So I'm not sure. How do you deal with invasive questions and gossip from viewers while also maintaining authenticity and sensitivity? Let me read that again. Invasive questions. I think as the internet gets a little older, two things happen. Like it gets worse, and then it also gets a little better. And I think there is a little bit more understanding, or my audience is just growing up with me and I don't receive too many super invasive questions. And when I do get put in a position where I'm uncomfortable, I usually just block the person. On my Instagram, I talked about how I was followed home. Not home. I was followed by somebody. I was actually going downtown and I got a comment that like seemed almost fake, but I went on the guy's Instagram and his Instagram seemed real because I was like, this is a bot comment, and I got a comment that was like, you're faking this for attention. And now like that doesn't defeat me. I'm like, that's kind of dumb, so I just deleted it. But in a sense that's also a little invasive because your knee jerk is to defend yourself and be like, why would I make that up? You're leaving this comment for attention, obviously, so someone would engage with you. So I don't get too many super invasive questions, and if it's something that violates my boundaries, I often just delete it, and that's kind of like how I deal. That way, like, I'm not encouraging that behavior either. I'm sure if I answered more very invasive or personal questions, I would receive more. I think that I have like my own sense of boundaries, which you have to like sit down and really think about, like, what am I okay talking about? And I think that I have kind of a grasp on that, I guess. Sorry, I'm just checking out the chat here. I used to feel so unsatisfied in my first relationship because of the whole social media high school romance standard. Yeah. And you can definitely go through it. I definitely did. Like, I definitely was like, well, what the fuck? But then you really just have to ask yourself what is important to you. And you could be like, my man should run me a bath without me asking. And, you know, that can be something you're really into. But do ask yourself, like, where the root of that interest comes from. And if it's like, I grew up watching Disney movies and I'm a fucking princess, then go for it. But if it is like, the girls on Instagram get that treatment and I want that treatment, do think about that, I think. At least that's what I do. Eva said, honestly, if the question has been asked twice and not answered, just drop it. But I didn't catch that question. The plank. Normalize blocking and deleting comments, honestly. Honestly. Like, I know for a while it was like cowardice and the opinion of it was cowardice, but it's really just, what can you do? You can curate your online presence so much, but really when just goofy goblins come in, it's really best to just protect yourself from their eyes. You know what I mean? Sebi is a new channel member. Welcome. I used to have my Insta public, but I switched to private because it was making me nervous. I think that, like, go off, honestly. I don't know if it was on my live stream or Valonius's, but I told him that, like, when I get anxious or when I panic, one of the first things I want to do is, like, delete my social media. So I'm like, I must have some deep-rooted anxieties in social media if that's where my body defaults to, where I'm like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable. I should delete my Instagram. I want to see if I can switch my lights and then I can talk about why I haven't been feeling well. And why I've got these great sweatpants on. I guess I'm bringing my laptop into the bathroom to wash my face. Yeah, so, this week has been pee-pee poo-poo. And it sucks because it started out so, like, everything was a possibility. Everything was great. Philadelphia has this district in the city called Fabric Row. And, you know, I've been crafting. And I was like, I was going to Jersey or the suburbs to go to Joann's. And I was like, I don't have to go to Joann's, girl. We have a fabric row, and it's all independent, like been there 50 years sellers in little shop fronts that have a ton of fabric, and you go to all of them and feel really guilty because if you leave the first one, the guy knows you're going to the next store. It's great. When I was heading downtown to go to Fabric Row, I was vlogging. I was, starry-eyed. Trigger warning, I am going to be talking about, like, stalking a little bit, or at least, like, harassment. So, I was heading downtown and going to wait for the bus, and this regular guy, was like, he asked me a question about the bus, and it made, I'm not unfriendly. Like, I will answer your question about the bus. I give people directions all the time. When I see people who are like, I'll even intervene and be like, do you need directions? Like, I'm not an unfriendly person. So when this guy asked me about directions, the only thing that was, like, off-putting to me was that he wasn't wearing a mask, and I was like, I'll give you the directions that you need. So after that, he kept talking to me, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, whatever, like, I'll just walk. Like, I don't see the bus coming. This guy is nice, but I don't want to keep talking to him. I kind of wanted to, like, listen to music. So I just was like, you know what? It's a nice day, and I'm going to walk to work. A lie. Well, I was working technically, just my job is unique. So I started to walk away, and I got about a block, and I noticed that he had started walking too. So I told him that, the buses were delayed, etc., etc. I had looked that up before I left the house, so I didn't think twice about giving someone that information that I myself had to look up, so it's not everybody knows it. So when I noticed that he started walking too, your instinct is like, oh, he probably didn't want to wait for the bus delay either. But I got about a block and was like, okay. So I crossed the street at the green light, waited for the red light, and then crossed back. So I made like a box. And I noticed that he did the box too. And there's no reason for anybody to do that unless they cross the street and they're like, you know what, I was supposed to be on the other side of the street. And in Philly, no one waits for the red light. People walk into the street all the time. So waiting one red light behind me, already I was like, fuck. I called Valonius right away. Valonius is another YouTuber, works from home. But I knew he was up because I know Valonius' schedule. And I called him and I was like, hey, can you just stay on the phone with me? Like, I just have a bad feeling. Like, can you just stay on the phone with me? And he was like, yeah, like, I have a lot of stuff to tell you. So that was kind of like, at first, that really relaxed me. I was like, okay, the guy followed the same pattern as me, but whatever. So I started to weave the way I was walking, and I was on the phone with Valonius, and I managed to like hold my phone up, and I did get one picture of the guy, and I held my phone up to see if he was really still following me, and he was. And at that point I had been walking on just residential streets, like no businesses or anything like that, no reason for someone to be there. So the guy was about half a block behind me at any point. But like I said, at that point, like, I was being followed. Can you carry pepper spray in Philadelphia? Yes, and I do. And like, I am prepared, and I know, self-defense and all that stuff. Like, I was prepared, and I do carry pepper spray. In Philadelphia, I believe you have to keep pepper spray like on a keychain outside of your bag. So my pepper spray is on my keychain. I think if I got in trouble for that, I could figure it out. I don't know. Like, it might be an issue if you go into a government building, but if you were practicing self-defense, I think it would be okay. So I was on the phone with Valonius, and I was like, he's still following me. At that point, I had walked past. There was a big moving van in the middle of the street, having the street blocked, and the people were moving like couches and stuff this way. So when I got to the moving van and crossed it, I ran, just like to the end of the block so I could quickly turn. And I was like, I know if I can do just this one thing that will prove to my mind that this guy actually isn't following me. Eileen, is that how do you say your name? Eline? Willie? Welcome to the channel, members. Thank you so much. And when I got to the end of the block, there was a business. And I was in a residential area, so I was like, this is my only chance. And they had their door open because it was a really nice day. So I ran inside, and like the second I like said it out loud, like I couldn't even process it. I ran inside, and to the guy, I was like, I'm really sorry. I think this guy is following me. Can I just like sit here a second? And the guy actually didn't even say anything. He just like he kind of just like led me to the office, and I sat down really low. And I watched him, and he kind of just like kept busy. Like he like picked up something and then like put it over here. I almost like felt relief, as if he was like not making a big deal out of it. Like he was like business as usual. I had been holding the phone with Valonius on it the whole time. So sitting down inside the shop, I kind of picked back up with him. I was like, hey, like I'm sitting here, like I feel so stupid. Finish your story. Like, what were you talking about? Like, you know? And then after that, I was like, hey, like, let me call you right back. I've been here a couple minutes. I'm gonna thank the shop guy for letting me sit here. Like, that was just goofy, like whatever. Honestly, it felt really silly. I felt like maybe I had overreacted. I really felt like I was overreacting. I felt like, you know, yeah, I felt like I shouldn't have reacted that way. That's how I honestly felt. I honestly felt like, okay, like, for example, if he thought I was hot and he was just like going the same way as me, like I shouldn't be reacting this way. And honestly, the voice in my mind, I feel like was not my own. I felt like it was some like Twitter commentary, like talking me down, and I was all about it. I was like, yes, I am submissive and this is silly. Like I can tell you, whoever was talking to me in that moment was not me, but I was very much there for it. Like to have like terrible posture and just disappear and be like, oh yeah, a guy followed me, but you know, I really felt that way. I really felt like I had overreacted. And I was embarrassed for overreacting, you know, because I should be this strong, kick-ass woman and like, oh, someone followed me? Well, I kicked him in the dick. So I got up out of the office with that in mind, and I walked over to the guy, and I actually like started laughing, and I was like, hey, that was really weird. Like, I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting me sit here. And he went, and then he pointed outside. And the guy knew I was inside. Even though there was the moving van and I ran, he must have got to the front of the moving van fast enough to see what direction I went. And he saw that I went in the business, and he was outside. So I didn't overreact. Actually, like, going there was absolutely what I was supposed to have done. So the business guy told me. I recoiled back into the office like a horror movie, like a nightmare. I couldn't even believe it. Like, instantly, just like horror just kind of shook through me. And I thought, I was nice to a person who asked me about the bus schedule, which is something I do all the time without any thought, without any focus, without any second consideration other than the fact that I'm polite. And whatever information this guy took from me in that interaction, he used against me. If it was my politeness, you know, if it was my willingness to talk to a stranger, you know, he calculated, this woman is nice enough to talk to me. Maybe she won't do anything when I follow her. And that was true. So I recoiled back into the office and basically hid there. At this point, I was off the phone with Polonius and just in hysterics. Because I really couldn't comprehend what I just explained. That I briefly spoke to this person who I didn't even take a sec, and their intention was to harm me. Initially, I made it difficult by weaving in and out of all the streets and stuff like that, and sprinting at one point, and being on my phone perhaps. But really, really scary. As I kind of lost my grip for a second, or 20 minutes, the guy at the shop had called the police. I got some cute messages about how I shouldn't have gotten the police involved, and I will say the shop called the police on my behalf, but I would say that the situation was an emergency. And when I worked at McDonald's, I called the police all the time because I knew I was unqualified to deal with whatever the fuck. And I'm sure the shop owner or guy felt the same way. And he saw that I was clearly losing my mind. Initially, I was really prepared to convince this man that someone was following me. I was completely prepared to be like, I walked here and he walked there, but he didn't make me do that. When I said, I think I'm being followed, he showed me the office. And wasn't like, this girl is crying, she's here, she said she was being followed. He didn't do any of that. So after he's outside, he did follow you. He's circling the block. He's waiting for you to leave. He did call the police. I saw him on his phone at first, and the conversation seemed casual, so I don't know if he called his boss and they decided to call the police, or he called his buddy or anything like that, but then I guess he called the police. a cop came all the way in to talk to me. And basically what the police could offer, because I'm guessing when a cop car showed up, if the guy had been circling the block or watching, he left. And later, the picture I actually got of him, it looks like he's on the phone. So if he was on the phone and working with a second person, at some point they may have indicated to each other that there was a police officer, or that I was making it difficult, or that I had ran, or anything like that. I don't know if he's on the phone. You know, I've been trying to put the pieces together because I've been pretty distressed about this. The officer came in. He didn't ask me to describe what the man looked like at all. And he basically said, I can give you a ride home. I can give you a ride to where you're going, but you can't walk anywhere around here. You need to go to eat to a different location. You can't be on foot anymore. And I can't drop you off at a bus stop, because I was like, well, I don't want to bother anybody. And I would love whatever psychotherapy that could make me stop being that way. I don't know if that's just some young Catholic stuff, but please dip me in a tank or put me on, I don't know, mushrooms or something. I really just need to stop being that way. Honestly, my life in danger, crying. I said, oh, you don't have to do that. He's a cop, and he's also, you know, like a servant to the public. And I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, I don't pay taxes. So he was like, listen, yes, receive help. Please receive help from me. So it was either that or someone would come there and pick me up. But the officer said, whatever happened, and I believe you, you can't be here in this area anymore. Not necessarily the store. No one was kicking me out. But to protect me, those were my options. So at first I said no. I didn't really like the idea of being in a cop car. And I also didn't know what the fuck was going on. But then I said yes. And I didn't want to go home. I wanted to go like as far away as possible. Like almost like I wish I could have went to New Jersey or like Delaware. I wanted to, like, if that guy who was following me was on foot, I wanted to be in like South Carolina. I wanted to just be so far away that he could forget what I looked like. Like, that was my mindset. So it was funny because I was just, you know, getting on the bus to go to get crafts. I felt pretty stupid about that. So the police officer, when we got in his car, it was like, I know what you did last summer. He came and killed him. No. When we got in the car, the officer said that he would keep track of any reports of anything similar in the area, and did tell me that he may have been following me to steal my purse. When you look at the photo I took, he is carrying a tote bag. And I was like, oh, this NPR ass motherfucker, vinyl record collector. But if he was carrying a tote bag, it may have been to snatch my purse and put it in the tote bag. That's a possibility, and kind of something I can live with a little more comfortably. Like, oh, he was just trying to steal my purse. Like, it's a city purse. Kind of cliche, if you ask me. Oh, you steal purses. Like, you talk shit on your stalker. Little cliche with the crimes here. Oh, you stalked a girl who was nice to you. I can sit I can sit better with that, knowing that maybe I was targeted because I was approachable, friendly, and wearing a purse. Like, there was this dating show on MTV called Next, and they would list like 3 characteristics, and like a wacky one, it would be like, I'm Molly, I like music, going to the beach, and jumping on my pogo stick. And it's like, I'm friendly, I'm approachable, and I sometimes wear a purse. So I can live with, oh, this guy was trying to steal my purse. However, following me for like a half hour and weaving in and out of all the blocks, and when I ran for sanctuary inside of this building to stay and to circle the block and to stay outside and to stay visible to the man at the front door, like not letting anybody in and stuff, like that's what conflicts with the idea that he was just trying to steal my purse, that he followed me for so long. Because me like getting on the phone and me walking and me sprinting at one point, like he could have unfortunately turned around and tried again with the next nice lady, you know, but he pursued me instead. And, you know, I tell myself, oh, it was because I was nice, so he probably thought he would follow me, and I would be like, no, I'm nice, like that, nothing bad happens. But I don't know. My mind constantly, from the second it started, kept telling me nothing bad was happening. And that is alarming to me, you know. In the police car, I was nervous and I started to like confess the crimes and shit. I was like, oh, there's this big abandoned building in Philadelphia called the Divine Lorraine. It was this old like happening like 20s jukebox like hotel with like plush Titanic carpets and chandelier. And it went out of business and it became a place for like urban explorers to go. And for some reason, just in the car, I was like, you know, I've never been in the Divine Lorraine. And he was like, okay. And we're passing all this graffiti that says like, kill all cops. And I'm like, yeah, all my friends went in, but I didn't go. So that was weird of me. I hardly exist. But, PB's having a little kibble break. Don't victim blame yourself. Honestly, creeps are creeps because of them, not women or whoever they try and target. Absolutely. Through this, I've tried to be really careful with the language I use and the language I accept. And it makes me like, I called my grandmom to tell her what happened. And she was like, well, you should carry pepper spray. And I was like, I do. And she was like, well, this and that. And I was like, well, I did everything right. I took a weird way to make sure he was following me. I went inside a building. Police came. Like, ABC. I did everything right. The only thing out of my control was that I flagged this guy. I got his attention somehow. Like, something about me got his attention. And then I was kind and I confirmed his motive. Like, she's nice. I can exploit this. And the only thing left to do is go, so no more being nice? Like, what else? Like, what else do you do? And that's not something I want to change because mostly I'm nice. And no one tries to steal my purse or kidnap me or whatever the fuck was going to happen. Diet Blonde is a new channel member. Welcome. With the new update to YouTube, it flashes, at least for me. I don't know if you guys see it. Don't walk alone anymore. So this happened to me at 10 a.m. And I don't know, like, that's what so my grandma was like, I think you should stay home for like a week. You're grounded. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, that's fine. That's true, I guess. Like, if I end up in any of the areas that I was in when the guy found me or whatever, like, he could be doing this serially. I don't know. So my grandma said, don't go outside for a while by yourself. I said, okay. But I have to be allowed to go out by myself, like everybody else does. All of these other women and non-binary folks have to go to work, and they have to get their groceries, and they have to go to the doctor, and they have to be able to do it. And at 10 a.m., I have to be able to do it. So I don't know. I think you should take your bike more, maybe, and just put stuff in your basket. It's like, it's tough because there's definitely no, like, I thought about that. I thought if I was on my bike, I would just bloop bloop get away. But at the same time, someone could be in their car. I remember I was followed, but only for a couple blocks, when I lived across the street from my friend Ryan. And when I was followed, the guy was in his car and just kept driving really slow. And he was like, get in my car, gorgeous, get in my car, get in my car. And I ran to Ryan's house and banged on the door, and Ryan came outside, and he was eating ice cream with a teaspoon. Like, when you're cooking, you have a teaspoon measuring. He was eating ice cream with the teaspoon and, like, had no shirt on, and came out, and he was wearing, like, Echo Limited pants from, like, 2001, and he was eating with this teaspoon, and the guy fucked right off. And that night, Ryan gave me a whistle, and the next day, he gave me pepper spray. But I could be followed whenever. But there was something a little more harmless about that guy following me for some reason, because it was only for a few blocks. And his intention was kind of clear, like he was catcalling me. He wasn't trying to, like, be sneaky. To be fair, my grandma would tell me to never leave the house again if I dared to tell her that. Yup, I knew what she would say, but I did want to tell her I did everything right. I didn't want to be like, oh my god. That says grandmom's cell. She hears me. Her ears are ringing right now. So, when I was downtown, after the police officer dropped me off, I really thought about it, and I was like, I'm going to go to Uniqlo and buy a new outfit, and I'm going to put my hair different in order to get home. I sat on a park bench for like an hour, like Forrest Gump style. I just sat there and just kind of decompressed. I really couldn't continue to do what I wanted to do, and I thought I should have went home because I'm so fried. Like, I don't know what the fuck just happened to me, and I'm trying to be so brave about it, and I'm just like toasted. So Gwen D with the donation, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I believe you guys can all see that too. Thank you for the super chat. So I was on this park bench totally fried, and I was just like trying to come up with scenarios to just like make myself feel better about what the fuck just happened to me. And I was like, I gotta change my outfit, I gotta change my look. And I was like, well, I deserve a new outfit any the fuck way. Then John told me, oh, she left me. Okay. My grandma was asking, I went to the doctor yesterday, my grandma was asking me about that. I can talk about that too. Then John called me and he was like, hey, wherever you are, I'm going to take you home. So that was really nice because I don't want to bother anybody, so I didn't even ask him. So then I did go to Fabric Row and I got some stuff for the videos I'm making this week and stuff, which was nice, but I did want it to be like a whole thing and it would be fun, and I was really spooked. I was really freaked out, and I was really prepared to like get plastic surgery and shit, like change my whole look. When we got home, I told my neighbor what happened, which was kind of bittersweet because when I left, my neighbor was going to Produce Junction and she was like, you should come with me. Or she was like, do you have your gloves? Do you have your mask? Do you have your hand sanitizer? Like, I want you to be safe. And then like 20 minutes later, I fucked that all up. So I told my neighbor what happened. She had similar experiences. And while I was gone, John kind of, I guess, retraced my steps and he talked to some people, which was really nice of him. He talked to some people that are like always outside, and they said that they didn't recognize him. He wasn't someone they had ever seen before. So that made me a little more comfortable that it was maybe like a one-off situation, like someone who ended up in that area and then tried to take advantage of me or just any nice person. Sunflower Gazer, please search personal alarm at Target and get one. They are so good to have on hand. I have one. It's in there. It should be on my keys. That's true. I actually pulled it once because of a dog. But you're right. I'm gonna put it on my keys. So John did talk to some folks to get some like on the ground intel and let some people know. I let the women that I talked to know. And I felt pretty comfortable about that. Later, John took me over to the shop so I could thank the guy, but they were done for the day. So I'm going to get some like pretzels, I think, and drop them off. The only thing stopping me is that it would be during the day and I would be by myself. And because my grandma like wants me to stay home this week and whatever, like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm sorry, my light turned off. They're battery operated, but it's like rechargeable batteries. It's annoying. I wish I could plug them in. So that is what happened. So Katie, you're so brave and your kindness is an asset and not your downfall. Asking for help is hard. Thank you. That's the thing. I was like, somebody asked me for help and people do it casually and with no intention all the time. So I really didn't think anything about this guy asking me for help, and I didn't think to take a good look at him. I didn't think it was harmful in any way. Honestly, I only started to walk away because I was like, I don't really want to get in a conversation with you. Like, and it's nice out and I don't know where the bus is. I'm gonna walk. So I had planned on staying home, letting things cool off. Like, God forbid, the guy was like, I'm gonna come back at 10 a.m. the next day and just see. But I had an appointment to get my IUD, so I had to leave the house. So I changed my hair. I changed my purse in case he really remembered my purse. I changed my purse. I changed my hair. I changed the style of clothes I was wearing. And I took a completely different way, a completely different form of transit. Like, if he would have come across me in any aspect of the city, I was hoping that I just looked different enough. My tattoos weren't out, God forbid, so I was able to change up my look, I feel like, pretty well. if he got a good look at me, if he took pictures of me, I don't know. But I found comfort in changing up my look. That's something I had control of. And it made me feel more comfortable. Like if I just busted out in like the same old ponytail and purse, so I did go to the OBGYN yesterday and I got an IUD. An IUD is a form of birth control that prevents pregnancy for long durations of time, 5 years, 6 years, and there's a 10-year one. And the 10-year one seems really scary. Last week on Twitter, I asked you guys, 2 weeks ago on Twitter, I asked you guys if you had any experience with IUD. This is a birth control that is a little plastic capital T that is inserted into the uterus and stays there for the duration of time in accordance to what you want or the guidelines of the specific birth control. So I had to leave my house yesterday to go to my appointment, which was a little rattling because I didn't want to leave the house. I wanted to wait for things to cool off. However, gotta do it. When I did get home, when John drove me home and I told my neighbor like everything that happened and stuff, I sat down on my couch and fell asleep. I fell asleep in my clothes. Like I had been so exhausted from being scared. And TMI, it must have been like a very animal reaction. I smelled so weird. Like not BO and not like stink. It was just like when I took off like my sweater, just this smell. Like the smell of fear. I swear. It was like, what is this smell? When I got in the car with John, I thought the smell was coming off of him until I was by myself. Like I needed to be in the car to like be with my smell. And then I was like, John, ew, you know, it's usually John. And then when I was home by myself, it was me. So Gwendy, I work at Starbucks and I had a regular take my phone and put his number in it without my consent. He was married with 2 kids. I felt so violated. God, ugh, everybody stop. I hate that. You're so vulnerable at your job too because you have to be nice to everybody. It's so messed up. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so 2 days ago when I got home, I like took off my sweatshirt, smelled really weird, and passed out. Like with I would never sit or sleep or do anything like in denim in my home. That is a cardinal sin. So I like really passed out like from fear or exhaustion. And the next day when I like picked up my clothes, they still smelled like that. TMI. So yeah, I went to the OBGYN to get my IUD birth control. 2 weeks previous, I wanted to get like a lady checkup, a vagina checkup. And I go pretty regularly, but my period cramps have been kind of crazy. And when I went to the doctor about like my moles and stuff, I was also like, and like, not a big deal, but like my periods like knocked me off my feet for like 2 days and that's brand new. Anyway, see ya. She was like, no, you have to talk to somebody about that. So yeah, as I've gotten older, I like started to experience PMS and now I have pretty bad menstrual cramps. And before, never. It was spring chicken. So I talked to OBGYN and she recommended this form of birth control. And when I was there, she was like, let's put it in today. Like rolling up the sleeves. And I was like, no, I need to talk to my partner about this and I need to think about it and I don't want to do it. So I need to convince myself to do it. I really didn't want to be on any hormonal birth control. But the birth control she recommended, she said it was localized hormonal because it sits inside of the uterus. So the hormones are right there. Because I used to be on depot birth control, which is a shot, and you get it every 3 months. And if you get it in your shoulder, the next 3 months they put it in your ass, and then you get the other shoulder and then the other butt cheek. So it's all over the body. And I had really bad experiences on depot. So when she said it was hormonal, I was like, fuck no. And she was like, listen, it's really localized hormonal. And the hormones just thicken the uterine wall. And I guess that helps with your cramps. But on birth control, I gain weight. I have mood swings. I have no sex drive. I'm just there. That's it. Just not having a baby. That's all I'm doing. But when she said that's the solution to cramps, not other stuff, like that's it, I was like, eh. She also told me that my fertility is going to start declining, and it's going to begin to decline at age 32 and will continue to decline until age 37, where I will have to start family planning or looking at my fertility options. So I had to go home and have a series of serious conversations. And I mean, honestly, I wish there was male birth control. I wish it all the time. I know there's vasectomy, and my ex got one. Is that too personal to say? But I wish like there was a pill for them, or a little fucking piece of plastic that gets put in their arm. The Nexplanon commercials, like, no baby for me, I play soccer. Nexplanon, when you want to wait until next time, Lanon. And I'm like, don't put anything in my arm. What about soccer? What the fuck? In America, there's commercials for medicine, and they all drive me crazy. So I wish there was a little penis birth control other than vasectomy. We talked about vasectomy, and it's just like scary. Snip, snap, exactly. That's where, because that little quote, I was like, can they reverse it? And then, I don't know, like, the penis is so important to the man. I was like, well, if it's someone put it, I don't really know. I don't know. And I was like, well, we could do fertility stuff now, because pull and pray's really been working suspiciously well. But then that wasn't really it either. And the root of it is I would still have these cramps, and that is the issue. So I decided, so I went to the doctor yesterday, and when you get there to have the IUD, you take a pregnancy test and all of this other stuff. And I got there and I was like, I don't even know if I want it, but I am here because I had an obligation to come to my appointment. And even on my like little appointment card, it was like, because I got a PAP, and it was like, talk about the results of the PAP and schedule time in case IUD. And I was like, I'm here to talk about my PAP and time in case IUD. I love that they ask you why you're here. You're like, didn't you orchestrate this? I'm just a cog in the system. What do you mean? I wasn't even prepared. I was like, I didn't prepare anything to say about why I was here. So I was like, I'm really scared and I don't want to do it. So the doctor came in. She told me it's the birth control she's on, and that OBGYNs are often on. It's popular amongst them. And I was like, well, OBGYNs are really cool, so I'm in already. They're so cool. Vice has this little special on how there's only like 4 OBGYNs in Georgia, and Georgia has like the highest rate of mothers who die during pregnancy, and it's like 2 out of 3 get like severely injured, lose the baby, or die in Georgia, because there's only like 4 OBGYNs for the whole state. It's crazy. OBGYNs are G's. They're sick. If she's like, we take this, I'm like, I'm in. You're sick. I'm going to do my hair like you. Like, I'm in. But out loud, I said, I'm scared and that's going to hurt. I told her that I used to be on Depot, and she said that's her least favorite birth control. So I felt like we were on the same page. We were vibing. Literally when I was like, okay, like fucking pants off, all these people came in the room because it's like a procedure. I advise, if you're going to get it, and I'm not telling you to get it or not get it, this is a personal choice that I made with a lot of deliberation and hesitance. I just know it's the right thing to do for me, but this was chosen for me with my history and my concerns and my family planning goals, etc. But I did ask what the procedure entailed, and I think that's really helpful, because in hindsight, if I was just laying there and had no fucking clue what was going on, it would have been way scarier, and it was terrifying already. So I was like, what does it entail? It's this little guy. This represents it. It's this little thing. So they open your vagina with a speculum, which is like a platypus duck bill. They put the platypus in, and then they measure your uterus, I imagine with the sharpest measuring tape on God's earth, all knives. A ninja star, they measure your vagina with, your uterus. They measure it with that, take it out, they twist it and take it out. And then they have like a device that they just like poof, and the IUD goes inside. I was like, cool, sign me up. I have no choice, So I laid it on the table, and you get undressed, and then a bunch of people came in, like a fuck ton of people. The one girl was young, and I was like, if this is my subscriber, I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna pass away here and there. She had like Converse on. I was like, do not like YouTube. You watch Netflix and cable. You don't know who I am. I was so fucked. Everybody saw my vagina, everybody. There was like 6 people in there for real. And it happened really fast because if it's anything like the Vice thing I watched, those OBGYNs see like 35 people a day. That's Georgia, so in Philly, maybe it's like 20 people a day, but still, it was like, pew! With the pew! The blow dart of the IUD. So the attending was like, I'm gonna hold your hand. And I was like, no, I'm good. It's COVID. My nails aren't done. Like, no, like, I'm shy despite what you see right here and the tattoos. I don't like pain. And you ladies looking like, I don't need it. Girl, obviously she knew, because it was like 20 seconds later, I was like, ah! like, and I felt her finger like make its way into my fist. That sucked. And my spine, my cervix, my uterus, my personality, crooked, girl. So that shit's like, oh, like, it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot to get done. I thought halfway through I would be like, no, I changed my mind. Like, I was really fucked. And the thing is, it's not a familiar pain. It's not a pain you've ever felt. It's not like a painful sex pain. It's not like a PMS pain. It's not like a bust in your hymen at soccer practice pain. It's not a tummy ache pain. It's a pain that you would imagine is what it would be like if you could interact with your organs. Someone said this is a gross story. I'm trying to keep it pretty chill. I wish I would have known this stuff. It wouldn't have changed my mind, but I would have been more prepared. So, I'm sorry if this grosses you out. This is a little medical chat, because all I do is go to the doctor now, I guess. Could you please stop talking about this? I think if this is really upsetting you, it might be best to come back to the stream in like 20 minutes. Here, I think. So so the pain, I would say, is like almost like if you could like graze your intestine and like visualize it, like your lower intestine or something. It's the first time I ever felt pressure from the inside of my body. Like the pain felt like it was coming from my back and like my middle at the same time. Like I felt it in my back and I felt it inside, and not like feeling sex inside, like higher. It was kind of wild. And that feeling being so unfamiliar and something I never felt before, and I wasn't ready for it. So the attending kept telling me to put pressure into like planting myself down, laying down. Like she was like, plant yourself down, because I'm a little shy. My legs close up and stuff. So that was really helpful because it gave me something to focus on. Getting tattooed, getting pierced and stuff, they tell you to focus on your breath, stuff like that. So I was breathing, but it was nice to have something to really focus on. The doctor told me beforehand that the complications that most people experience are 50-50 insertion, the IUD puncturing the uterus, and then later the IUD, maybe becoming like grown into your uterus or shifting and needing to be removed surgically. So those are the two things. And when we got through the insertion and no IUD punctured my uterus, that was great. So where did I put... So, on Twitter, when I asked you guys about IUD, someone said that their doctor sprayed lidocaine. I asked my doctor for that, and she was like, in my experience, it doesn't help, so she didn't offer it. And then, another person said to go while you're on your period. That helps. Another person said to go after you have a baby. I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So if this is the IUD, like just this part, the IUD has 2 strings that come down. And when she inserted it with the blow dart, pew, the strings come down through the cervix. And the doctor, while the speculum is still inside the platypus beak, the doctor can go in there and trim the strings. So the strings is how they remove the IUD when everything's all done and you've used it all up, or you've decided to have kids, or now you're out so you don't need it. The strings, I guess, is how they remove it. So I was like, oh, will someone feel the strings, like whatever? And she said that after a while the strings kind of like curve. They're not like dangling, they kind of curve to the cervix and kind of chill on the walls. So one of the complications could be something with the strings, and then they wouldn't be able to remove it because they have to insert it with that blow dart. So it's really up in there. It's really a tool. There's no blow dart. But I felt a lot of pain. So how they remove it, I guess, would be to yoink, get the strings. So if there's complications with the strings, they would need help removing it because they do insert it with a tool. So even though it's inserted, you're still fucking wide open while she's trimming these strings. And then when it was done, they had me sit laid back for 5 minutes, not sit up or anything like that. Then I fucking, made my next little appointment, walked down the stairs, got to the outside, and saw black spots. Like how cartoons see stars. I'm standing there and it's like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna pass out. When I was upstairs, the attending who held my hand was like, do you want juice, girlfriend? And I was like, no, I'm tough as fuck. 2 doors down, a lady's having a fucking whole baby. And I'm like, ow, it hurts. So I was like, no, I'm okay. And then I was outside and I was so fucked. So I sat on the ground on the sidewalk outside. Security was like, hey. And I was like, it's cool. I just need to I'm fucked. John came and got me. And that was the bumpiest car ride home. And I held the seatbelt in between my hands and just twisted it because it hurt so bad. Like, when it was done and they had me lay there and offered me juice and I declined and made my next appointment and that was fine. 5 minutes later, I was so fucked. So fucked. I started crying and I couldn't stop. And it was like a weeping, like a like that kind of crying, not like a bawling or anything, just like a mellow like a stream of tears, just like a time to live my life and live with the decisions I've made. So we have a pull-out couch. So after we got home from the bumpiest ride on planet Earth, I did the pull-out couch and I just sat up and with my legs laying flat. I have a heating pad, so I had my heating pad cranked, fan on. John made me some leftovers to eat, and that really helped with like seeing spots and stuff. And then he got me some, I think, ibuprofen. But for the rest of the night, I was like pretty cashed. And then today, when I woke up, it felt like somebody just like kicked my ass. Like, it felt like somebody like smaller than me just like fucking punched my legs and ass. Like I feel mincemeat the fucked up. Like, someone really pulverized me. In my legs, I'm so surprised. I'm thinking because maybe I was like clenching so hard, or just this like intruder to something in my body. And I've this morning a couple times I thought I was gonna throw up, and I'm not a big vomiter. My body takes what it gets and consumes it all. I thought I was gonna throw up a couple times, and when I woke up, I kind of chilled with a heating pad for like 3 hours, and then I filmed my video today sitting down, so that helped. TMI, when you leave, they gave me like a little diaper. They gave me a little fucking diaper to wear home. They might not give you a diaper. They gave me a diaper. But, you know. I know this is supposed to be funny, but your story has me rolling. This is how I'm coping. I am sorry if that was gross. That did kind of throw me off. I didn't think I would gross anybody out. I got a giant ass pad. Quicken, you really had a tough time recently. Just 2 poopy days of chaos. John goes skateboarding every day, and yesterday he was like, "Can I go skateboarding?" Never mind. Yes, the spotting lasts a couple days. The giant pad. I was like, I'm packing a Chipotle burrito right now. Yeah, so today I'm just fucking chilling. I had trousers on yesterday. And I feel like did I already say this? I didn't know what to wear to my appointment, and I really put a lot of emphasis on what I was going to wear for some reason, and I ended up wearing these like easy trousers from Uniqlo. They have like an elastic waistband, but they're like kind of formal wear, like you could wear them to workwear. Uniqlo has a lot of workwear. And yesterday when I was on the couch and John brought down my sweatpants, I started crying. I was so relieved to just wear sweatpants. It was so nice. The relief that offered was so brilliant that I would wear trousers to my IUD appointment all over again to feel that sweet relief of that terry cloth cotton just pulling up. Oh my god. So brilliant. So I have an appointment in a month. I made sure to not have it on election day. So in a month, they will check on my strings, see what that's all about. No intercourse for 7 days after the appointment. Check on my strings. And, you know, if I spot every day until then, I'll tell them if I have any, you know, reactions or anything like that. And the IUD I'm on lasts for 6 years. It begins with an L. The only reason I don't know it is because I used word association to remember it, and now I only remember the word I associated with it and not the real word. But it begins with an L. I am responsible, but also a mess. So yes, I don't know what it's called. I only know the fake word that it is not called. Lil Edda? Maybe. I had spotting for 5 months after the implant insertion. RIP. Yeah. I'm just hoping it helps with the issues I had related to PMS and honestly family planning. I don't know if it's a conversation everybody wants to hear, but I'm not ready. And I do feel bad. I know there's some YouTubers who I follow and I respect and have met who are really trying to have kids. and I do feel a little guilty just like turning that off. But for me right now and for us right now, it's not in the cards. This, it's just like, I mean, COVID really changed up my plans, obviously, for everybody, but I had some plans, and picking them up next year or 2 years from now, God forbid, that is more important to me, and starting family isn't my priority. It's tough to tell your parents and your neighbor and have that conversation with your partner, because you almost like, it's almost like both of you trying to say it at the same time. You're like, okay, on 3, say if you want to have a baby or not, because you're like, oh no, deep down do they want it, or deep down they don't want it? And the one thing is like, if I'm going to lose my fertility in 7 years, like what if John and I break up in 6 years? I'm gonna have to meet a person and decide then and there, like, I'm gonna have kids. Let's get fucking married. Of course I made this joke to John, so that's how you know that you're just talking about whatever. You're like, well, what if you dump me and then my fertility runs out? My grandma would love if I had a kid. I think about it at like completely the wrong times. I watched American Murderer on Netflix, and Shanann Watt and her 2 children are murdered. And the documentary, I was like, aren't those kids just precious? I was like, is this what gives you baby fever? You psycho. You psycho. But those were really cute kids. That's fucked up. If you have the money and resources, you could save some eggs for later or whatever. I love that, or whatever. How much does that cost? I really don't know. I was in the process of donating my eggs until I got this IUD, and this is my last year to do it. And I was totally down to do it. I got kind of scared about the retrieval. So now I know I am definitely scared afterwards. So probably couldn't have done it. Google says it costs 6 to 10K for 1 round. I get baby fever from such bizarre things, but especially when I see those little mittens they give to newborns so they don't scratch themselves. That mitten is your trigger. Oh no, not the scratch mitten. Egg freezing doesn't always work. There's a good video about it on Vice. 99% of those frozen eggs never get used. Is donating eggs safe medically? I don't know. When I was younger, my mom had a conversation with me where she was talking about, like, in support of donating your eggs to women who can't naturally have a baby, I guess. And I guess whatever my mom was on at the time, some sort of Oprah thing or the 90s, like, I don't know. I feel like that's not totally the vibe anymore. I feel like adoption is much more in conversation. I remember that conversation I had with my mom being kind of impactful. You are done here. And then some friends were talking about donating eggs, and I had a friend who donated eggs 5 times, and it seemed really chill for her. So that's why I kind of lean towards it being a good thing, I think, because the ethics conversation I had with my mom and my friend who did it successfully. But yeah, I was pretty nervous, and now I absolutely can't do it. So I was pretty nervous. but I don't know. Would you ever consider adoption? Yes. I have dreams about birthing kittens all the time. And it's weird. Once I had a dream and then later saw these beautiful white kittens at a shelter and started crying for all the feels. I love it. I love it. No kids, just cats. Honestly. I had Olive in a little Christmas sweater and in a little Halloween sweater, and I texted it to John's mom, and afterwards I was like, that felt right. I do this now. I'm going to see if I can change these lights. You know the drill. Princess Blurry Face, I hope everyone is having a good week. I love this community. Same. Hope everyone's having a good week too. You can't get money for donating eggs or kidneys or blood in Canada. In America, you can't either. I think they compensate you for your time. I'm 30 and almost none of my friends want kids, at least no time soon. That's kind of how it is with us too. None of my friends are having kids, and they're also like not getting married either. Quack, what are you making with the yarn? So I got monk's cloth, and I've been doing needle punching. So far I've just been like following like kits, so I finally got the cloth, like enough cloth to do my own thing. And then I also got a ton of string to do weaves too. So whatever comes up first. But I did just get all the muslin monk's cloth in the mail. I went to the store to buy it at first, but everyone must have the same idea as me, or stores don't carry anything anymore. Either way, I had to order it online. But that's what my yarn is for. I've also been just like wearing a yarn necklace. If you saw me in my Twitch stream with Thelonious, I was just wearing yarn as a necklace. Kids, marriage in this economy? Honestly, it doesn't seem great. I'm in a pretty great position where I work from home, so I could take care of a kid, but I think that I could get on this forever. I really don't think that mothers, childbirth, it's not something that's very supported in America, and there's no incentive to do it, and there's no protections to do it. There's no safety net. Daycare is really expensive. Paternity and maternity leave are not guaranteed in the United States and Papua New Guinea, and that is it. Every other country is like, oh, you're having a baby, take some time off. When I worked at McDonald's, my roommate had a baby and took 7 days off and then came back to work. A baby, 7 days off. We were teenagers. Well, 19, 20, on our own. 7 days off. Horrified. Americans don't have paternal and maternal leave. Insane. We don't. It's not guaranteed. It's a bonus if your employer offers it. And in our laws, it's like designed for the mother to stay at home with the kid. Like, in all honesty, that's what it looks like. It hasn't changed or evolved at all. So the idea is, even though the household needs 2 working people to sustain it in almost like every scenario, that would be mother and father in a like traditional nuclear family, American dream family scenario. The mother is expected to bring home money, but the mother is also expected to raise the family, so she just does both. And then her husband leaves. So it's also not paid even if you get it. Yeah, you just don't get fired. Amen. I could talk about this forever. Yeah, in Sweden, both parents get maternity and paternity leave. And then there's this bonus leave that can either be given to the mother or the father. So I'm forgetting the exact numbers. I believe, like, let's say it's 9 months. Each partner gets 9 months. And then there's 9 bonus months that can either be given to the father, so the mother can go back to work and the father can be with the baby, or vice versa. So they can acclimate the baby and stuff like that. Sweden. I was like, are you fucked? I can't. My roommate got 7 days. And she wore like a fucking diaper to work. To what? To drop fries? Like, for what? Sorry, I'm just reading the chat a little bit. America really doesn't care about the working class or women. I've been saying it this whole time, but I do feel bad, like, getting on that pedestal with, like, adults and stuff. One thing I'm, like, really bugged out on is, like, older people being manipulated by Facebook. That's kind of, like, what's really eating away at me right now. My grandparents are on Facebook, and I can tell that the Kool-Aid has started to seep into the well water. And I'm not happy about it. It's like really a fucking drag, and I don't know what to do about it. I hate that Bianca says I hate that my grandma's on Facebook all day. I really hate it. It really sucks. There's like things my grandparents say that are just like so fucked, but I know that it's presented to them as news and they don't have the experience to understand that literally anyone can just say anything with like a typeface and a header, and it's not right. But I don't know, it's like, where do I start? Because also their health is like my priority, and the last time I was there, they have a lot of stuff, and like obviously I've been watching Hoarders, so I might be kind of biased, but they have a lot of stuff, and they both have really like bad breathing problems, and I was like, let's get rid of this stuff. They had a printer in the box, never opened, and they don't have a computer. And I was like, hey, can I buy this printer off of you? My printer I want to throw in the ocean. It's trash and I hate it and it frustrates me, and it was installed into my computer wrong and now it won't uninstall, and I'm gonna go crazy. Can I buy this printer off of you? And my pop was like, well, I might need it. And I was like, hoarder! You're a hoarder! Jasmine said, I hate that my mom's on Facebook all day. She started believing conspiracy theories and shit. Yeah, internet comment etiquette, if you follow or watch any of his videos, he said it first. We let people who've only been on the internet for 6 years believe all this Facebook stuff. I should know the quote. But yeah, people who've only used a computer for 6 years total are getting their news from the internet. And they don't understand. All my relatives are hoarders. I'm dead. Yeah, my grandparents are hoarders, but it's like a lot of sentimental stuff, so I feel really bad. All of my relatives are hoarders. It's just like, I don't know what to do. Their life would be so much better if they didn't have all that shit. And it's like, oh, this is pretty bad. So in my grandparents' bedroom, they have one of those like bow fit or whatever. It's like a workout bench that you can prop up so you can like work out, or you can lay it all the way flat and work out. They have one of those like little workout benches. And I was like, can I get rid of this? And my grandma was like, no, your pop doesn't want to get rid of that. And I was like, he can't use it. And I don't want to talk about why. I don't want to talk about why he can't use it. But he can't. He can't fucking use it. He can't use that. Can I get rid of it? It sits in your bedroom for whatever reason, and it makes it harder for you to get into bed. The man can't use it. May I get rid of it? But you can't say Pop can't use that anymore because he's old and he'll never get better. He'll never not be old anymore. He'll only get worse. He won't get better to a point where he can use workout equipment anymore. You can't say that though, because that's fucked up. And then you're both standing there talking about how this man's gonna die soon. So that's why the workout bench stays. Did your grandparents raise you? You seem really close to them. Yes. Maybe it could be an uncomfortable chair. My grandparents bought a booth in an antique store a couple years ago. Their house is full of junk that they bought to sell. Oh my god. The flea markets. It's so bad. Cause I know my pop. So my pop bought the printer because it was on sale. And they don't have a computer. So he was probably intending to sell the printer at a flea market. But he can't go to flea markets anymore because he'll get COVID and explode. So their house is just full of stuff with the intention to one day sell it at a flea market. And that is where things get tricky. Where did you get that Sonic movie poster? I love that movie. I got it at the theater when I saw the movie. They gave it to me. I should have got two. Just this one. I have a couple other movie posters. When we saw Weathering with You, we got movie posters. I have it. Right here. I should probably display this too. I'll put it right here. I'm also a hoarder. My grandma accidentally shared an article about how revolutionary Radiohead is, and it was fantastic. All I want. I wouldn't ask for anything else. My pop too would explode with COVIDness. How's sewing going? I miss my machine so much. Sewing has been great. One person said I shouldn't be making tutorials because I've only had a sewing machine for 2 weeks. And to them, I say, isn't this year hard enough? Why would you say that to me? Why? I've been hand sewing for a while though, not to overcompensate for a comment that was left to me, and now I can't stop thinking about it. I've been hand sewing for a while, so I understand concepts. And now that I've spent a ton of time with my machine, I feel really comfortable around it. I went to my friend Justine's house last weekend, and for 2 days we just crafted. And it was really cool to do it with her. Like, both of us had machines, and we were both, like, going at the same time. Our boyfriends would filter in and out. Doing it with her was really cool, because her machine's a little different. So we, like, figured out hers, and it helped me troubleshoot mine. She's a lot of space in her house, so we got to, like, lay out our patterns and cut. And she doesn't have cats, she just has bunnies. So it's not inconvenient at all when they come and, like, sniff your stuff. It's a delight. So it was really cool, like a sewing boot camp. And since then, I've just had a ton of ideas. And back here, I put my sewing machine on that, like, TV dinner tray and flip it around and put my chair, like, right here. So I have, like, a corner desk almost situation. And then I just sew, and it's really nice. Justine's roommate just moved out, so she's thinking of turning that room into a craft room. I think that would be really cool. We looked at an overlocker on eBay, and it might be cool if her and I split it and, like, keep it at her house so we can make garments and stuff and finish the hems and everything like that. But I'm really excited. I went to Fabric Row and I got stuff. I'm going to be making John something for our anniversary, which is this month. And I got some supplies for that. I'm really excited for that. It's almost like any craft you pick up, if you want to enhance it, you learn a little bit more. So I want to get, like, an iron-on transfer to put an image onto the thing I'm making John. So then I'm, like, looking up different iron-on transfers, and is it a cry cut machine or a Cricut machine? A lot of people have those. They're a little expensive. I would buy one used if any of you guys have one and you've given up on your dreams of using it. I would love to buy or trade for that. Buy it used. I saw it new. I don't want to buy it new. Unless Justine and I split it. But yeah, I actually have a pattern for something I want to make Justine for Christmas or maybe her birthday. So I'm really excited about that. I want to get, like, a little bit better at sewing, because when I make stuff for myself, it doesn't have to be good and I don't have to do a good job. But for her, I want to do a good job. But I think I'll make a video making that. And I'm so excited for that. That, like, gets me up in the morning. Like the bug cricket. Okay. Quicken on Project Runway. Justine and I were so cocky after we made this pillow. And we were so cocky afterwards. Yes, the Cricut hookup. Honestly, I was, like, 2 seconds away from sending them, like, an email that was like, listen, I'm Quicken from YouTube, and I was just wondering. But maybe they'll notice me first. Oh my god, and Justine and I was like, when COVID is over, we're gonna go to New York, and we're gonna go to Mood, okay? From Project Runway, the craft store. And she was like, work. Honestly though, we were like, our boyfriends are never buying clothes again. We're making their clothes and they'll love them. I'm so excited to go back to her house. She's like drinking this cider, like adult cider, that is so good. I went to the store and got some. Us getting drunk and crafting was like very scary. Mood make it work, honestly. I find that old machines, 50s and 60s, are the best machines. They sew through everything, and I personally only use a zigzag stitch instead of an overlocker. Justine's machine has a really good zigzag stitch for seams, but my machine doesn't have that same setting. So that's why I was on that shit. I saw one on eBay for $79, and I was kind of like, well, but am I like I'm gonna quip the shit out of this room and wake up for no reason in particular and be like, I don't like doing this anymore? Everyone started somewhere. It's cool to see your journey. Thank you. I'm hoping like with the videos that I make that they are very just friendly to everyone. No barrier to entry. That comment I feel like I got was so mean-spirited. Like, oh, you've only had a sewing machine for 2 weeks. Like, I don't want to give that vibe literally ever, but also like with my videos. My videos have always just been like shit I've been into, so I think it's no surprise that I would make a video about some shit I was into. I lived in New York City for 4 years and didn't have a smartphone and was embarrassed to ask where it was while I was there, even though I had the address. I think to get into mood, it's like inside of a building, so that is scary. Who's trying to gatekeep sewing out here? Honestly, I mean, I was as shocked as you are. I was like, what? I don't do anything with prestige. I don't do anything with perfection. That has to be known. So what would even compel you to question that? Oh, you're not experienced to do that. I'm not experienced to go to the doctor and do my taxes and eat a healthy diet that sustains my life. But here I am. Quicken your energy in this video is everything. I'm really on one. I'm so sorry. I'm like, first of all, the doctor touched my fallopian tube. I am really on. I knew I had this like spirit, and I was like, I have to talk to you guys because I've been at home, and I know I can't leave all week, and I like want to go to Aldi, and maybe my neighbor will take me, but I'm just like trapped in my house. But as I was, the bittersweet, the lemon, the lime of it all is I vlogged on Monday when I got followed. And in my vlog, I say, I haven't left my house since I was at Justine's house for 2 days crafting a week ago. And then I leave my house and I have a stalker, and then I had to get a surgery. I'm like, you need to be an expert to make a beginner's video. Ahem. I'm dead. I'm on the floor. Like grandma adjusts herself in her seat. It feels like right now I feel like I have a fanny pack on and it's very full. Like that's how I could explain how I feel right now. Like I'm wearing a very full fanny pack, but it's my flesh and blood. That's what it feels like. Dirty Soy says take a nap. Hoping things get better soon. Coming from New Zealand, who's twice eradicated COVID. Yeah, it's one thing, it's the next thing, and then you remember COVID. What's your sign? Aries. I cry yai. You like Justina's like planning this like little Halloween bonfire thing, and I feel so annoying because every couple days I'm like, do you know how many people are gonna be there? And like I know it's gonna be outside, and I know I've like asked John to take me to the arcade, so it's like very contradictory of me, and I also like go to Target, so I'm like, let's be responsible but also like balls to the wall. Quicken, what IUD did you get? I got the Paragard and it absolutely wrecked my skin. It begins with an L. I have it written down. I'm worried about the side effects. I've had it for like 24 hours, so I literally don't know. The side effects when I was on Depot was I was mean, crying, and I gained a lot of weight. My friend's birthday is this weekend and she's doing an outdoor thing. I keep asking her how many people will be there, so I totally get you. Yeah, I don't know. Every day I'm like, I'm responsible, and then I'm also like, I'm stir crazy, and I don't know. LOL IUD queens. Lynetta IUD? Sorry, my phone reflashed to remind me that my grandmom called. Are you going to watch any movies to get you in the Halloween mood? So I started watching 28 Days Later. Yes, two days ago. And I had to turn it off because it was too scary. Even though I've seen it a bunch of times and I love it and I love the concept of it and the spirit of it, I did turn it off. So Disney Plus has all the tree houses of horror, all the Halloween episodes of The Simpsons. And I've never rewatched The Simpsons as an adult. As a kid, loved it. Loved Simpsons. Loved Soda. Loved A Sleepover. But I didn't go through the thing where I rewatched it as an adult. I've only ever seen A Simpson on cable. I've never watched it streaming. Nothing. So I was watching Little Treehouse of Horror episodes of The Simpsons for like Halloween, and I liked it. I laughed and I remembered a lot. So I wish maybe my mom had put on Muzzy, some international language content for me, because I clearly was very impressionable if 15, 20 years later I remember all the Simpsons episodes. But that was fun. That's the only like Halloween stuff to get me in the mood so far. Inuyasha, the sequel that is based on like Sesshomaru's and Inuyasha's children, that series dropped. There's a lot of really good anime coming out this fall that I'm really excited for. I asked Justine if we could have a watch party. However, I started rewatching Inuyasha like 4 months ago. Got to the 100th episode like a few nights ago and realized there's 100 more episodes. There's only 88 episodes of My Hero Academia. And think about its impact. Inuyasha, it's like 206 episodes with like 4 movies, and they're all spread across all the different streaming platforms. Not one platform has all the rights. They're everywhere. So I've been really stressed out watching Inuyasha, and look, I love Inuyasha. I would date Inuyasha. I have feelings for Inuyasha. Sesshomaru, Kagome. There's so much filler in Inuyasha. And at first I was like, oh, I love the little side episodes about Shippo. And now I'm like, Shippo, shut up. Kagome, touch his hand. For the love of fuck. Please, blush. Please. Please take care of Kagome when she's sick. I know it was filler, but the 3 entire episodes where Kagome is sick and Inuyasha, like, takes care of her a little bit, like, really, what is it when somebody, like, holds back all their feelings all the time? Well, that's, like, Inuyasha, and he's, like, taking care of her, but I don't know. Is the filler when they go to the regular world. So filler is episodes of a show that don't contribute to the plot, and you could miss the episode entirely and it wouldn't affect your understanding of the overall plot. So Naruto commonly is accused of having a lot of filler episodes that have nothing to do with the overarching storyline. So like a side episode about how Shippo meets a little monkey and they do little monkey stuff together doesn't matter at all, and you could just literally never watch it. I like filler in Sailor Moon because I love the girls. I want to see what the girls are doing. Are we going ice skating? Are we going to a garden, an indoor garden, picking some forget-me-nots? I love that. But I guess now that there's urgency for me to finish Inuyasha, I'm like, ooh, say one thing about Miroku and his little raccoon buddy, and I'm gonna flip out. If it's not Kagome and Inuyasha touching hands, I'm gonna flip out. Repress, that's a someone said fuck Shippo. Who said that? Are you gonna get that Hypeland rug? Girl, I'm on a budget. Sorry, Peevee's tail is... Come over here, honey. Come over here. Come over here. I'm trying to read the chat, honey. Yes, Sailor Moon filler is totally different. The Crystal series made me realize how much there was in the 90s in anime now. I'm impatient. Yeah, Sailor Moon has all the filler, and then you look at Crystal, and it has like 90 episodes and not like 300 episodes, and you realize that most of those episodes are them ice skating. Or like about... The girl's name is Molly in the dub. What's her name in the sub? Any episode about Molly, gone. Are you gonna do Halloween costumes this year? I don't know. I don't want to encourage anyone to like go out and party, so I'm kind of like conflicted. I've done a lot of like home decor videos and like DIY home decor for Halloween. DIY Halloween home decor. I'm hoping that that's kind of more the mood. I know when I went to IKEA, like literally everything was sold out, so I'm thinking like people are at home decorating, vibing. I couldn't watch Crystal. It's a lot. Rip Molly. Yeah, I started watching Crystal because this year I was supposed to host an anime club at my local library in Kova. So because of Kova, that never happened, but... Hi, Papa! I wonder what we're having for dinner. Nothing? Yeah? Oh my god, John made dinner last night. It was so good. Wait, he's coming. Everybody be cool.
your live stream go?
I'm still live streaming.
Oh shit.
How did skate?
It was a good time. Very good time.
Are you making dinner tonight?
I don't know. I got a shower.
Mm.
How much longer are you going live for?
Let's see how long I've been. I've been live. This is like a whole new YouTube. They changed up the live streaming. I don't see where it says how long I've been on here.
I mean, you've been for...
It says 11 minutes. That doesn't... Oh, that's how long people tune in. Does it say?
I don't know. No. It says from 5 till 7:30. 5:10 to 7:30.
I've been streaming that long.
So from 5:10 to 7:30, I don't know what the math is.
Don't do any math if you don't want to.
It's only my job.
Yeah, but you're off work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to be fucking doing math.
Everyone's just saying over 2 hours. That's the fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
And people are saying hi, John.
Yep.
A rare John sighting.
Oh, fuck, it's mirrored.
That's
I like that.
I know, I have like a stray bobby pin and I'm like, should I move that pumpkin?
No, it's chill. It still doesn't make my hand... Oh, fuck, it's backwards. I tried to go like that again.
Like this?
Yeah.
Give us one.
30-year-old and still can't figure out how mirrors work.
There's a lot of things you don't understand.
Magnets?
No!
There's PB.
She had her kibble. Oh, John.
I'm nice to her.
You have to pick her up like that. She likes to be hooked.
When you have her under her arms though, it looks funny.
Yeah, she does look like people.
That super old long cat meme.
The piano cat.
That too.
Look at her. She's right where she wants to be.
I can finally kneel again.
She loves her papa. Yeah, John had water on the knee, which is a real thing.
And I fell on my knee.
No,
And
everyone's
then all the
asking
water
how
came
magnets
out.
work. Oh yeah, John popped the water on the knee. PB gave you a little squawk.
I think magnets are like a negative and positive charge, but
Don't start.
I don't know. Like polar. I don't know.
How have I never noticed PB's amazing tail? Look, it's like, oh, well, you can't see. Hey.
How's it going?
It's good. I have my water.
Excellent. Did you put any salt in it because your sodium's low?
Mm-mm.
He's enjoying the box. Oh yeah, she's right. See the tail?
See the tail. We can have pierogies for dinner again. You did a really good job last night.
If you want to, I gotta shower up and stuff first.
Okay.
Then we'll see. How much longer are you streaming for?
I guess I'll, when I hear your shower come to a close.
That's when it's a wrap. Mirrors.
Mirrors, how do they work?
Wasn't there some shitty horror movie about mirrors?
Yeah.
Was like the guy, wasn't it the guy from 24?
Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, wasn't he in it?
And
And there was like a whole nother world and it really sucked and I saw it at a movie theater on the boardwalk.
Flatliners?
Sure. I'm out.
Wait, they're saying the movie is called Mirrors.
I really fucked that one up, huh? Yeah.
Isn't it just called Mirrors? Bro, it's called Mirrors. Oh, someone said I love that movie.
I'm out. Ethan, get out of here.
Flatliners was ridiculous. Yes. And during my big Kiefer Sutherland phase, I watched Flatliners a million times. Bring that back. Someone asked if I'm painting pumpkins again this year, and I absolutely am. I can't believe it's October 7th. I feel like I'm all fucked up. I'm like, it's over. I missed it. Yeah, apparently, like, I don't know. It's Produce Junction, just a Pennsylvania thing. All my friends are going this year. Produce Junction. That's the wave. I think they have houseplants too, so that makes sense. Goodbye, John. Quicken, so want you to do an early 2000s fall lookbook based on the movie Practical Magic. I am working on like a like outfits for fall. I've never done like a themed lookbook. That sounds fun. What the hell is Produce Junction and why don't we have them in California? I don't know. They've always been around, but this year they're like hot fire. All my friends go. What's John cooking tonight? Sounds yummy. Last night he made pierogies, and there's enough to make more tonight. He made them so well. Like, sometimes when I make them, they're kind of dry, so I've been boiling them, and then I bake them with like sauces and butter and onions all in the like dish to like keep the flavor. And my boy nailed it with me directing him from the couch. Stranger Things was the themed lookbook. That's true. Okay, yeah. Okay. I did do that. I'm in PA and have never heard. There's a bunch of Produce Junction around here and in the suburbs, but maybe it's just over here. Maybe it's like one guy who owns like 7 of them. Is John vegan or vegetarian? Do you always cook together? John is vegetarian, but our household is vegan. Although sometimes if I'm like at Aldi, I'll get John like a chocolate chip muffin or something like that that's just vegetarian. If I see something like that for him. John also really likes candy, and I don't really eat candy the way John does. So if I see a candy, I'll get that for John. But for the most part, other than like those very like a bread or a candy, pretty much vegan all the time. John is just vegetarian though. Like like if he's at work, he'll get like a breakfast sandwich with like an egg on it. That's like not too much of a concern for him, but he doesn't eat it a lot. We make breakfast together Saturday and Sunday, and we do the Just egg, the vegan egg. And it would be cheaper and probably taste better if John ate regular eggs, but he eats the Just egg per his taste. Like, he buys it, so he likes it. During the week, I wake up at the same time as John. We just eat oatmeal for mornings during the week. And I cook most of the meals, but we eat together. We don't eat out anymore because of COVID. So almost like 7 days a week we're cooking. And then like if we go on an adventure or something, we'll get like sheets, or mostly sheets. And then like local in Philly, sometimes we'll get like Chinese takeout. But that's kind of it. You've been streaming for 3 hours. Oopsie. Are we calling it Kova? No, it's my own inside joke. I made a doctor's appointment and I was talking to the receptionist and her Philly accent was like so wild. And she was like, well, you know, because of COVID, we're going to have to. And I was like, what? Because of what? So I've kind of just been obsessed with that. It's like a heavy Philly accent. To call it that, it's fucked up. I feel like I could cope with Kova. I made Vietnamese pho for the first time for my boyfriend. That sounds very, very good. Carolina Korkova. It's Kova now. Did you bake today? Yes, I made a cooking video, a little treats video that'll come out tomorrow. By the time I finished, it was too late at night to edit and then have the video come out. So it's going to come out tomorrow, but I thought I would live stream because I had a lot to say, I guess. Do you know any other good vegan Chinese places now that New Harmony is closed? So we go to Zhuzheng, which previous Kova. Zhuzheng is on 13th and Sansom. It bangs. The menu for some reason is like 300 items. Even though they only have like 15 bangers, which is plenty. I have this friend who challenged that menu and he started to order everything. It's like sequential to really be like, no one ever orders $2.45. And he said that he's successfully gotten some really, really weird shit there. Love it. I love Zhuzheng. 13th and Sansom. It's spelled, it starts with an X, so it's like XUI. You'll see it. So good. They have bubble tea. What do you think about someone starting a promotional tattoo Instagram page where you promote different artists and pieces? Promotional like with currency, like with money, or just like a fan page? Because those are sick. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat a little bit. I love how you're still streaming so I can catch you after work. Ooh, quack. What do you get at Sheetz? So Sheetz has an Impossible Burger that you can get, which is that like vegan burger that tastes like meat. But I'm actually over the Impossible Burger. So now I just get the condiment sandwich, which is kind of like a old school vegan thing to get a condiment sandwich. We've kind of evolved past needing to order that, but I'm taking it back old school, baby. I get lettuce, tomato, avocado, onion. Even we did Burger King because we were out really late, so we did Burger King. And I was like, I really don't want the Impossible Whopper. I want a veggie burger, old school. That's just like a bunch of mushed up veggies and like lima bean. And you like fry it on a grill so it's like kind of crispy. Like that's a veggie burger I really, really like. I'm kind of over the Impossible Whopper. Also, it's like the sandwich is not supported enough. Like the burger becomes like wet and like the bun like sticks to it. And it just turns into like this wet thing. And the patty's much bigger than the bun. So you're left with just like, I don't know. At Sheetz too. At Sheetz, the bun doesn't support the Impossible Burger. So the patty's like this. And the bun is just there. So you have to like corn cob it. I don't like doing that with kova on the hands, and the bun just like turns into water. It's just like cotton candy touching saliva. It's just like they give us the option, but it doesn't mean it bangs. Shake Shack's mushroom burger is so good, y'all. Is it vegan? My old coworkers would go to Shake Shack every single day, and I was like, oh, I can't get anything. I'm sorry. But I don't know if that's true. Is there a big community of vegans in Philly? I think so. Because we have a lot of options. I remember the first time I went to New York and you could just go to a deli and get vegan cream cheese on a bagel in the morning. I was like, wow, I can't believe this. I went into any old deli, anywhere, and I got vegan cream cheese. Like, say word. But I had a harder time finding something to eat. When I went to those YouTube classes, I ate Chipotle. I was like, ew. In Philly, you could at least go to like a China spot and still get tofu, like on any old thing. So I think Philly has a ton of vegan options. You would not go hungry. I think it has cheese on it, but I can't remember. That was the Shake Shack question. Nasty, I hate a plain burger. Here they always burn the Impossible Burger for some reason. At Burger King, I mean. Maybe burning it would be better because it gets so mushy. It's like, I don't know. I hate to be ungrateful. Pretty sure Shake Shack's mushroom burger isn't vegan unless they made a new menu item. Deep fried breaded mushroom with cheese on a bun. Oh, yeah. Hi! She's gonna go in her cat bed. Eating vegan in New York is so good if you do your research. For sure, for sure. I've definitely had like my fair share of vegan field trips to New York. Yeah, staying at a shitty hotel in Manhattan is not the moment for your vegan journey. But even when I go wait for my megabus at like the port, like convention center area, all the delis there have a vegan option too. And all the delis always have like sushi and those like cookies. Ooh. White Castle has a vegan burger. Yeah, White Castle has 2 vegan options, I think. I like going there, but it's kind of far away. And when I eat like fast food and then get right back into the car, I like don't feel good about it. I wish I could eat, like in Philly there's this place called Hip City Veg, and it's all vegan, like fast food, like kind of Wendy's inspired but vegan. And I love getting that to go and eating it at my house, like very slowly, like just slow as fuck. I hate like eating and then getting back into the car. Why did I think the kitty was a boy? Oh my god. I kind of wish she was a boy and maybe she would get along with the other cats better. She doesn't get along with the other cats, so that's why she lives in the office. I'd rather her live in Gen Pop, but this has worked out a lot better for her, and I think her anxiety is a lot less. She chills, she's really social, and at night she sleeps in the bedroom with us. But I think this has really helped her anxiety. But yeah, I wish she could be with everybody else. Do you have Veggie Grill in Philly? No, I wish we did. I tried it in Chicago and I really liked it. I think I got like a meatball parm though, and I got really sick, but that's my own fault. Everybody knows that sandwich makes you sick. I went to Hip City Veg when I visited Philly because I heard you mention it before. Very tasty. It's so good. It's really expensive. You spend like $50 there. There's only one store in my town that sells vegan products, and they've been on strike for a month because the workers get paid dirt, so now I have to travel to another town to get all my vegan treats. We good, though. Yeah, I think all the time, when I first became vegan, there was one health food store, and they sold like mostly vitamins and then like nutritional yeast and like packed up seitan strips. And I tell John all the time, I was like, in the suburbs, there was a health food store. Think of a health food store. Now it's like Whole Foods and, well, most places have an option. But whenever I go through a town and see like a random health food store, I'm like, that's it. That's the vegan artery right here. God, I remember buying from the health food store. I cry. We didn't have nutritional yeast for like a month, and I was like, I gotta go to the health food store. And then I found this weird nutritional yeast in the vitamins section. And I was like, thank God. Thank God for you. My boy and girl cat get along so well, but our landlords live above us and have another boy cat, and my boy cat is experiencing so much anxiety because of it. Oh my God. That's awful. I remember the vet said that PB might be having anxiety because there's construction on our street, but I'm like, baby, that's never gonna stop. There she is. Honestly, what's the deal with nutritional yeast? Why is it so lit? I hear you talk about it all the time. So nutritional yeast is kind of like a condiment, and the kind I get comes in almost like a Parmesan cheese shaker, that like tubular with a lid, and you pop the lid halfway and it has like 3 holes. So nutritional yeast you can sprinkle on stuff. The label says like, try it on popcorn, and I don't know any vegan who's tried it on popcorn. But so nutritional yeast has like a musty, cheesy kind of flavor, and it's fortified in a ton of vitamins. And I just got my blood work, and all that shit was good. And I know I eat a ton of nutritional yeast, so I feel pretty good about it. Has a lot of B vitamins in it, the happy vitamins. But it has like a musty kind of flavor. And if you mix it with soy milk and butter, it's a really nice cheese sauce. I sprinkle a little bit on everything just because of the nutrient factor, all the vitamins and stuff in it. But I also really like the flavor. There's this all vegan coffee shop in Philadelphia called Grindcore House. And they have a nutritional yeast shaker with like their salt and pepper. And I used to get a bagel with butter and sprinkle nutritional yeast on it. It was so good. I mostly use it to make cheese sauce. And then sprinkle a little bit on everything. It's really good. At Wegmans, you can get that like Parmesan shaker I described. It's a dry good. And then afterwards, I keep it in the fridge once I've opened it. You can get that dry shaker in the health food section at Wegmans for $4.98. Or at Whole Foods, they sell nutritional yeast in the bulk bins. That's where I normally get it. But because of COVID, there's no bulk bins at my Whole Foods. But nutritional yeast is really good. If you're vegan or not, I do think it adds a lot of flavor to stuff. And it's harmless, so I love it. Love it on toast. It's the key ingredient to my avocado toast, and it's the key ingredient to my tofu scramble. I'm very curious now. I recommend it. Where was the weirdest place I ever bought it? One time I found it at Giant, which is a kind of corporate-y chain supermarket, at least in the East Coast. It's essential for tofu scramble. It really is. I want to try the tofu cream cheese. It's weird. It tastes like Play-Doh, and I love it. But it's gross. I love it. It tastes like shit. It's so good. And it's also disgusting. Enjoy. Do you put black salt in your tofu scramble? Yes. Right in there. Bang. It's really good in salad dressing. Yes. Do you ever see yourself living outside of Philly? Sold. I used to eat so much Play-Doh. I'm dead. Yeah, when I go back to school, I hope to study abroad. I believe I'm pretty close. I have a ton of credits. I'm pretty close to getting my degree, so I would like to do that. And I think the university requires a semester abroad. So, in the future, after COVID. Quack, are you a vegan that eats honey? From the research I've gathered, and that has been passed along to me, but I have no experience being a beekeeper, I've been told to support local honey to increase the amount of bees, and that by not eating honey or not supporting local honey, it decreases the amount of bees. That makes sense to me. I haven't come across research that counters that theory. So because of that, I think vegans' best interest is to support bees, but I understand it is a animal byproduct, so that can be confusing. But I'm also like a vegan who's like, fuck a carmine. Like I don't care about that beetle. So I don't know. Like, for me, I wish it wasn't like a vegan thing, I guess, because it's like a bug. But I also support it being a vegan thing because, I don't know, like, is an insect an animal? And then is it an animal byproduct? There's that conversation, but then the predominant conversation that I actually have with myself, and not the insect versus animal one, I don't think about that ever, is that more demand for honey equals more people making honey equals more bees. Wouldn't consuming help the bee industry? See, that's what I mean, I don't, my old roommate, and we were like too vegan for our own good kind of shit. My old roommate wanted to have like a whole bee house is not the right word. Beekeeping situation on our roof and everything like that, and I was pretty supportive of that. So I understood that like if you keep your own bees and you're good at it, you can eat that honey, and that having bees is yay. And if you have allergies, eating local honey helps you with the allergies and stuff like that. But yes, like people have said, bees suffer from honey production. Insects are animals and they suffer and are social. Yes. That's why I do the research and understand the bee thing, but then I also understand why it is a vegan, all-encompassing thing, which I do support. I beekeep. Bees don't suffer as long as the beekeeper is ethical and only takes the excess honey. Hive. Did I not? I really skipped on being able to say hive. Local honey for life. Just plant flowers if you want to support bees. I have a friend who beekeeps outside of the city and sells his honey, and is the most fantastic honey I've ever had. I'm not even like a honey person. Like I know you could put honey on like bread, and that seems really gross to me. You can also help the bee population by gardening. I wanted to get those like bee bricks. There's like a brick, I guess it has a little hole in it that you can put in your house facade and the bee lives in it. That's kind of scary to me because I'm also scared of bees, but industrial bee practices seem yuck, but local honey might be okay. The bees have to have a hive somewhere better than a box on someone's house. Where are they going to harm? They're removing them. Plus, all the plants need bees for support for spreading pollen. My roommate never went through with putting the bee house on our roof, but it was just like that's my closest link to bee experience. I don't think the chicken and the egg analogy works for the bee argument. Did I say that or did someone else say that? Agave is, a lot of vegans use agave as a honey substitute. Sorry, I'm reading. Someone said Follow Your Heart is pretty gross. That's like a vegan, like cheese kind of brand. Someone said listen, it makes the hard cider taste better. I think that's about honey. Quack, I'm still in shock about the cicada killer. I actually have been meaning to see if I had a scar from that. This is kind of a good excuse. I guess I don't. It was this leg, right? Huh. I guess that healed. How wild was that forever? I didn't say that, but I asked about having your own chickens and then eating their eggs. Oh! Oh, like, is it vegan if you have your own chickens and eat the eggs? I think about that. But I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could raise chickens either. I think I'm really scared of their talons. And I would not want to get near the talons to touch the egg. I can see that though. Are there vegans who do that? That's pretty interesting. I would love to at least hear that conversation. Someone asked what about keeping your own chickens and eating their eggs? Where did you get those pants? I think I have the matching shirt. Well, Hot Topic sent me these. I guess it would be ethical but not vegan. I think that's the best answer. Large talons. I had a chicken and they were great little pets and they just let their eggs rot if I didn't take them. Yeah, I long time ago, many years ago, my high school boyfriend, his dad had chickens and he used to let me eat the eggs and I used to really enjoy it. My friend has been vegan for a while and she has pet chickens and if she doesn't eat them, they just rot and get thrown out, so why not eat them? I guess it's like, why do you have pet chickens, I guess? I don't know, but I live in a city and my backyard is the size of a parking spot, so I guess if I had land, I would love to do more with it, but I guess I just don't. Would you raise ducks? I don't have the room. I often think that 3 cats is a commitment that I rushed into. A vegan tattoo artist I follow feeds the eggs back to the chickens. I love that. Cottagecore energy. I think there should be an emphasis on ethical consumption, not the hard line of what's good or bad. Also, I had chickens in high school. It was pretty cool. I'm definitely here for the ethical consumption conversation, for sure. I'm worried if I had an egg by now, I'd also get sick. I have an acreage in the Midwest. Chickens are beneficial with the bug population control, and they are cute. Thank you for answering that for me. The chickens eat the bugs. It all makes sense. I think I've said this before, but I love when animals have like little jobs. Like I love when a dog has a job. Like a job it likes. Like it goes to work and it feels fulfilled by its job. So if I had chickens and they had a job, I would love that. Ethically, I'd eat backyard eggs, but they're gross, so I wouldn't actually eat them. I'm not a huge fan of eggs, but my parents used to keep chickens. I would eat them if there wasn't a rooster on scene. The half-formed baby chicken eggs are a nightmare of mine. Ooh. I used to have chickens, and their poop is really good for the garden. Emotional support chicken. The answer was right there. And it's so obvious. They're not gross. They're very good fresh. Oh, I guess eggs. Yeah, when I was vegetarian, I used to love eggs. But I would eat the liquid egg from McDonald's. So that may be egg product. I love those snow dogs with the barrels on their neck. Oh, I do too. I love when they have a little job. How are the cats? They're really good. They love when I have the sofa pulled out, so they're both downstairs sleeping on it. I feel like since I never pull the sofa out anymore, it probably smells like my apartment to them. And I don't know, maybe Ethan likes that. The cat that works at the train station in Japan is Employee of the Year. Chickens are the best. When we call them, they would all come running to the porch. I love that. I love when my pets respond to their name. Yo, little Peebee. She's asleep though. She's doing that thing where her face is like squished in her body. She's right here. Susanna says, I wish my cat would get a job. If we are on the clock for 3 hours, I do like to stream in like 2-hour increments. So, I will be bidding a farewell to everyone. Thanks for coming to the stream tonight. If you've been here since the beginning, thanks for hearing my stories. Though upsetting to some people, I'm sorry. That's where my head has been in my physical body and everything going on. But I really felt the energy to like come here and tell you guys just everything that's going on, and I felt really supported in that decision. So thank you guys always for being that support. And hopefully it made you laugh. You know, it is serious, but it is the next day. It's the next couple days, and life has treated me well in the aftermath, which I'm really grateful for. And I'm grateful for you guys always. Thank you for the support so much here. Let me know how much you know, are interested in these live streams, if anything. I tend to lose a ton of subscribers after all of my live streams, but I think that has something to do with the algorithm. And I have created a Twitch. My Twitch is, if you search Quicken on Twitch, I think it comes up, but it is qcknd, qcknd on Twitch. If you are a Twitcher, a Twitch person, a Twitch viewer, Twitch fan, do feel free to reach out to me, because I'm a fish out of water. I know I need a ton of graphics and like visuals and like this cubey thing for Twitch. I wish I could have figured out how to get the chat on here, or the super chat on here. Princess Blurryface with a kissing lemon. Thank you so much. I love doing the live streams. They're my favorite. So it might be more organized to have them all over on Twitch. I don't know. I feel the energy of 1,000 suns, and that is what's best, I think. And pierogies and you guys. So thank you. If you're new here, you can follow me over on Instagram at quietcoolkid, where I post stories every day and some flicks. You can also follow me on Twitter at quietcoolkid as well. I check that once a day. And of course, follow me here on YouTube, or my second channel, which is Quicken2, which is where I have been vlogging and posting some more low-key stuff, and where you guys have said you love the vibe, which is amazing. I love it. This should have been called The Sleepover, but it was called Bite Back because some shitty stuff happened, and a pee-pee poo-poo pants followed me, and the police had to come. But I think coming back to the table and having a good outlook on it is how we bite back. And that is the name of the stream. I know there's, in the past, people have been like, why did you name the stream that? And it's always like some feeling I had 2 seconds before the stream. My partner manager was like, you should title them something that's more welcoming and not cryptic. And I was like, I'll work on that. I didn't do that yet, but that's why. My hair is a mess, and I am sweating. But yeah, everybody be careful. Oh, my Twitch handle is qcknd. I need to be on Twitch for a little while to get my normal username, just quickened. But for now, that's what it is. I suggest maybe you follow it preemptively, just in case in the future I switch it. I'm not trying to put my tag in like videos and like date it, because then if someone watches it in 6 months and I've been able to get my username, that might be too late. But qcknd on Twitch right now. And thank you guys. It's the live streams that you support that make me understand that I can go to Twitch pretty successfully. So thank you again. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you are safe. Thank you for the support, especially now that I've been doing crafting stuff. I haven't seen many of you guys leave, so I feel really supported by you guys. And yeah, I could keep talking about how good that feels for a long time, but I know I'm going to lose my voice tomorrow. And I heard John get out of the shower, but I thought he'd knock on the door or something, and he didn't. He's downstairs watching like Thrasher videos, so I should probably intervene. But I love you guys so much, and until next time, thank you.